What's up, my Central Units? It's the Central Man here, so back again with another classic WrestleMania pay-per-view review. So this weekend marks the 25th anniversary of a WrestleMania I'm going to talk about right now. That is WrestleMania 13 at the Rosemont Horizon. That is the All-State Arena right now in our current timeline in Rosemont, Illinois, or Chicago, Illinois, on the 23rd of March 1997. The attendance for the show was 18,197. WrestleMania 13 received about 237,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade than the WrestleMania 12 buy rate. The main event of WrestleMania 12 was Bret Hart vs. Shawn Michaels in a 60-minute Iron match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. WrestleMania 12 received about 290,000 pay-per-view buys, very close to 300 pay-per-view buy rate, but it's just what it is. Wow, it's funny that WrestleMania 12 got a good buy rate, and this show, Mania 13, got the, I think at the time, was the lowest buy rate of a WrestleMania. The next WrestleMania with the lowest buy rate will be WrestleMania 19 in 2003. The commentators for the show are Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler. This WrestleMania is the Bret and Austin WrestleMania. We'll get to their match later on in this review. This is the first WrestleMania in Chicago since WrestleMania 2 in 1986. You know, they did did it in 3 cities, in New York and Los Angeles. Well, it was at the Nassau Coliseum, the Rosemont Horizon, right now it's called the All-State Arena, and the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. Wow, that was a clusterfuck, WrestleMania 2. Anyway, so that was in 1986. This WrestleMania, I'll get to my final thoughts of the show, the final ratings of this WrestleMania at the end of this review. So let's check the free-for-all, the predecessor to the kickoff show in our current timeline. The free-for-all, you had Billy Gunn defeated Flash Funk. Flash Funk is, Too Cold Scorpio from ECW. It was a 7-minute match. I think Flash Funk was basically doing a predecessor to what Brody's Clay will do really a decade and a half later. With Funkette Tracy and Funkette Nadine. You can tell it's like a 90s version of Brody Clay, the Funkasaurus Brody's Clay gimmick. Wow. Glad you didn't have someone called your mama, man. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, so the first match to kick off WrestleMania 13, we got a Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team match. Winner faced the WWF Tag Team Champions on the next night on Raw. We got the Headbangers. We got the Godwins. We got the new Blackjacks. The new Blackjacks are Blackjack Wyndham. That is Barry Windham. Used to be part of the Four Horsemen in WCW. And Blackjack Bradshaw. Yeah, we're in the new generation era, folks. New generation era. Everything has to be new. We're in the new era, and now we got the new generation era. New generation. Actually, the new gem era was way better than the new era in our current timeline. But the original Blackjacks. Show a slight video package of the original Blackjacks. That is Blackjack Lancer and Blackjack Mulligan. Blackjack Mulligan is, I think he's the, he's the son, he's the father of Mike Rotunda. Mike Rotunda is IRS. He is also the father of Barry Windham, and not familiar with Kendall Windham. He's the grandfather of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. And also, completing this 4-way elimination tag team match, we got Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. They end up going to ECW at the end of 1997. I don't know, they're kind of like enhance. You can tell they're just jobbers, enhancement talents. They didn't really do much in the Federation. This match was a bit, I think it was mediocre. It's an okay opener. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. By the way, you had the Blackjack. And by the way, Blackjack Bradshaw is the future Bradshaw, part of the Acolytes, the APA, and the future WWE champion JBL. That'll be in the Ruthless Aggression era. In, was it about 7 years later? Anyway, so yeah, the Blackjacks and Furnace and LaFon got eliminated. I think like the Blackjacks got eliminated. You had Bradshaw pushing the referee. I think that was Mike Chioda. And yeah, the Blackjacks got themselves disqualified, and I'm guessing LaFon and Furnace got themselves counted out. So that was a bit in the end, you had Phineas. Not Phineas. I think you had Marshall. I think it's Thrasher Marsh. One of them hit like a leg drop off the top rope onto. No, I think it was a Cannibal Senton. I think it was Thrasher hit the Cannibal Senton off the top rope. Sorry, I'm stumbling by the way. I'm going to say it again. Yeah, Thrasher hit the Cannibal Senton off the top rope onto Phineas to pin him, win this match. Yep. And the Headbangers went on to face the Tag Team Champions the next night on Raw. And have announced I will review the first Raw after Mania 13. So, yeah, it was an okay match. Nothing special. It's predictable that the Headbangers are going to face Tag Team Champions will get a title opportunity on this show. I think like Thrasher says, who's going to face the Tag Team Champions? Us. You know, he predict that. So, you know, yeah, I think Henry O'Goblin is the future Midian and the future naked Midian in the World Wrestling Federation. This was like years later. so the next match, this is. By the way, this is I'm guessing first of 3 title matches on the show. The next match, this is for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, defending the IC title. That's short for Intercontinental Championship against the Sultan. The Sultan is the future Rikishi. With the Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund in the Sultan's corner. Why Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik, working together? Because it's funny that Iron Sheik defeat Bob Backlund for the WWF title in 1983. Also, the Friends, don't get it. Anyway, so Sultan is the future Rikishi. He was Rikishi in the year. I'm guessing in the year 2000, I think, 99, 2000, so he's still in the Federation. He was part of the Head Shrinkers, and he was just part of Make a Difference. Wow, he had many gimmicks before he was Rikishi in the New Gen era. Part of the Head Shrinkers, I think it was Make a Difference, a role model Gettle gimmick, and then and now the Sultan. And then he'll be Rikishi in the Attitude Era. And this was The Rock's first WrestleMania. Because he debuted at the Survivor Series the previous year in 1996 at Madison Square Garden. This is Rocky Maivia. Using his dad's name, that is Soulman Rocky Johnson. And his last name, that is High Chief Peter Maivia. In Rock's first WrestleMania match, the match sucked. It was boring as fuck. It's all about Rock retaining the title. The Rock got the victory, rolled up the Sultan for the victory. And wow, the Sultan Rikishi was a bit slimmer back then, because he ended up being fatter when he was Rikishi years later. But back then he was still heavy, but kind of around the 300 pound mark. He would be like 350, 400 pounds when he was Rikishi in the Attitude Era. It's just wow. It's like he was unrecognizable when he was the Sultan compared to when he would be Rikishi in the later years in the Attitude Era. So afterwards you had the Sultan beating down Rocky Maivia, the Iron Sheik locking the camel clutch. I never knew Iron Sheik was around in the WWF in 1997. Yeah, maybe worked behind the scenes. I think it was behind the scenes. Then he was doing the whole gig with the Heroes of Wrestling show in 1999. Anyway, so the Sheik locked in the camel clutch onto Rocky Maivia, and then you got the Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, and Rocky beating down the heels, the Sultan, Bob Backlund, and the Iron Sheik, and that was it. And also in this match, you had, I think the fans, you could tell they're slowly turning on the Rock, Rocky Maivia, chanting Rocky sucks. I think it'll be the next pay-per-view. Maybe at the next pay-per-view. You can tell in the next couple of weeks, you can tell the fans are really getting sick of the Rock. Rocky Maivia Be a lot of die chants, Rocky sucks chants. You know, you pick on The Rock when he was, you know, in late '97, early '98. Yeah, the best thing for Rocky Mafia in his career is be part of the Nation of Domination. So yeah, it was a bad match. I think it's the only bad match on the show. So moving on to the next match, match number 3, we got Hunter Helmsley, the future Triple H, with China in his corner, taking on Goldust with Marlena in the corner of Goldust. Marlena is Terry Runnels, because at the time, Goldust and Terry Runnels are a couple. You know, Dustin Rhodes and Terry Runnels are married in real life. Yeah, I think they got divorced in real life. Don't know what year. Anyway, so this is all about, you know, Triple H or Hunter Hearst Helmsley once Marlena was, I think, had a crush with Marlena. Marlena rejected him. So at the final, was it the Final 4 in February, the previous month, you know, they had the match. They had, you had the debut of China. You had choking out Marlena. So this is a continuation of the rivalry between Goldust and Triple H, or Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Speaking of Triple H, you know, it's funny in our current timeline, you know, Triple H is officially retired from in-ring competition. You know, this is, Hunter Hearst Helmsley / Triple H's second WrestleMania match. His first WrestleMania match was last year in 1996 at WrestleMania 12 against the Ultimate Warrior. It was a squash match. This was a bit better than the squash match at Mania 12. The match was good between Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Goldust. Bit boring, but it was just what it is. It was a good match. You know, it's more between China and Marlena. It was back and forth between Helmsley and Goldust. In the end, you had China, you know, confronting Marlena, and then you got basically you had I'm guessing like Goldust pulling Marlena on top of the ring apron. Hunter Hearst Helmsley hit Goldust with a cheat shot, like basically a knee. Goldust into the back, and then made Marlena fall off the ring, and China capture her, locking the bear hug. In the end, keep saying Triple H. He's not really called Triple H yet. That'll be later on in 1997. You know, he was him and China were kind of like the founding persons of D-Generation X. You know, with Shawn Michaels and Rick Rude. Anyway, so Helmsley hit the pedigree onto Goldust for the win. So moving on to, it was also a good match, by the way. So the next match, this is for the WWF Tag Team Championships. We got Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, defending the belts against Mankind and Vader, with Paul Bearer in, you know, Mankind and Vader's corner. Mankind's, you know, it's Mick Foley. So, and also, by the way, Bulldog is now the first European champion, because on an episode of Raw in March, it was in Germany. Bulldog and Owen had the match to crown the first European champion. So, I didn't get a chance to watch that. So, yeah, Bulldog was the first European champion. It was in Germany. And also, Bulldog and Owen were kind of like splitting, like butting heads. You know, they had like on bad terms. They're falling out. Yeah, you had Jim Ross trying to interview Bulldog, you know, and something about Owen, like something like that. And Owen kind of called Jim Ross a cowboy wannabe. Starting him, you know, basically just shooting down Jim Ross, because at the time he was kind of like an interviewer and a commentator at the same time. He's same thing he was doing right now in AEW, you know, Jim Ross. Anyway, the match between Owen, Bulldog, Mankind, Vader. It's really sad that Owen, Bulldog, Vader and Bearer are no longer with us. You know, they died. You know, the only person was still alive to this day in this match was Mick Foley. It's a shame. Like, you know, Owen and Bulldog died young, and I think Vader and Bearer, they're in their 60s when they died. Anyway, the match was really good. This is a heel versus heel match, because sometimes heel versus heel matches do not work because who you cheering for. You can tell like Owen and Bulldog are the baby faces in this match. I know they're heels against Mankind and Vader are heels. You know, it's just like very confusing. Like I said, a really good match. You know, Bulldog is super strong, very underrated. Like you had basically picked up Vader and like did a body slam. Vader trying to go up the top rope, trying to hit a move. Bulldog basically pulled him off the top rope. Wow, he is freakishly strong, British Bulldog, David Boy Smith. So, in the end, Mankind locked in the mandible claw onto Bulldog. I mean, Owen kind of like, I think like Vader, Irish Whip, Owen, and he kind of clotheslined him, or kind of like ran Owen when he hit him, like using the, Irish Whip Owen, and he kind of like hit like a clothesline or kind of rammed towards Owen, and Owen kind of bumped into Bulldog while Mankind locked in the mandible claw. Yeah, the match was a double count out when Mankind still not refused to let go of the mandible claw, and that was it. But besides that, it's still a good match, but yeah, the double count out was still was disappointing. You know, Mankind and Vader as a tag team, as a tag team champions, maybe. It's funny that Mick Foley will become tag team champions later on in the year when he was Dude Love with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So yeah, establishing they never did Owen and Bulldog a rivalry because, like I said, they're falling out. I think they did follow up a bit, but that led up to the formation of the Hart Foundation that dominate Raw in the rest of 1997. So moving on to the next match, and technically the showstopper and the match of the night. We got Bret Hart taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin in a submission match with Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. So their rivalry started in 1996 or late 1996 at the Survivor Series when Bret Hart came back. Bret won the first match against Austin at Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden in 1996. The rivalry continued in the beginning of 1997 at the Royal Rumble. Bret eliminated Austin in the 1997 Royal Rumble match, but the referee did not see Austin getting eliminated because the focus on a brawl between, I think it was Vader and Terry Funk. So Austin went on to win that year's Royal Rumble match, first of his 3 Rumble matches victory. Yeah, and then they continue in February they compete in the Fatal 4-Way at the Final 4 for the WWF Championship. Like I said, we'll get to the main event later on in this review. So Bret was, at this moment in time, he was kind of like this crybaby character, He said, I got screwed by Shawn Michaels, I was screwed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could tell on an episode of, I think it was March, he lost the, it's funny that Bret went on to win. It was January, Austin won the Rumble match. In February, Bret won the WWF title, and then Bret, I think it was the next night on Raw, Bret lost the title to Sid, I think, after Austin cost Bret the title. And then you can tell Bret, he's crybaby mode. He pushed Vince after the steel cage match, after Taker cost Bret the title against Sid. That was the rematch. He shouted, this is bullshit, if you don't like it, this is tough shit. He's bragging like he's still the best it is, the best it were, and the best it ever will be. Ken Shamrock, this is Ken Shamrock's first pay-per-view match. Not pay-per-view match, his first pay-per-view appearance, because he came from the UFC. The UFC, it's not big back then compared right now. It's huge, it's popular. He's the mastermind of the tapping out, because on the Go Home show to Raw, he made Billy Gunn. He locked the I think it was an arm bar and the ankle lock onto Billy Gunn and tapping out. Because before that, you cannot tap out. You just, the referee asks you, do you want to submit? And then you shout, I give up, something like that. Ken Shamrock, he might be in the Hall of Fame one day because he revolutionized tapping out. Everyone's tapping out in our current timeline. Once you're tapping out, you're tapping out. Anyway, so this is I always have a mixed signal of this submission match because, for one, Stone Cold Steve Austin's not really a submission wrestler. Bret is, because Bret's got the sharpshooter. In this match, Austin didn't really lock the $1 Million Dream. That used to be the ringmaster when he debuted in 1996. This is Austin's second match. His WrestleMania match, because his first WrestleMania match was against Savio Vega. The match was really good. They were fighting in the crowd. Austin bled buckets. Sorry, cough by the way. Anyway, so yeah, Austin bled buckets, man, in this match. Austin, I think you're locking some kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like I think it was a chicken wing cross, was it a chicken wing crossface or something like that? I can't remember. or some kind of armbar. I don't know. Can't remember. There's some kind of weird submission hold. Like I said, Austin's not really a submission wrestler. I wish he locked in the $1 Million Dream. He did that in his match against The Rock in 2001 at WrestleMania 17. Anyway, so the bulks of the match had Bret working on the leg of Austin, setting up the sharpshooter. He locked Austin with the figure four onto the ring post. I think Austin trying to choke Bret with a power cord, but Bret hit Austin in the head with the ring bell, and then Bret locked in the sharpshooter onto Austin. Austin did not submit. He did not tap out. He passed out. You know, the blood, you know, it's basically, you see him, Austin bleeding, the ring's covering in blood. That is iconic, man. Austin, you know, he's refused to not submit it. He passed out. Bret won this match, you know. And also the fans were kind of like turning on Bret a bit, you know, because, you know, he was a crybaby. I'll get to more of that shortly. And then afterwards, you know, seeing that, you know, it's more organic. Oh, I don't think Austin in his whole career submitted. You know, before he gets, because the only person who made Austin tap out was Kurt Angle in 2001. But besides that, I don't think he got tap out ever. I don't know. So yeah, afterwards, Bret attacked Austin even more. And then, yeah, the double turn was good because Bret is a heel now. Austin is the babyface. I wish they just, this is my fancy booking of this match. I wish they just have Austin win this match, because I'm going to say in my overall review of my story arc I'm going to do, you know, the WWF in 1997, 25 years later. I wish that, you know, I think, like, Austin never got a leg onto Bret Hart. He never got a victory over Bret Hart, you know. This should be a passing the torch, because Bret ended up leaving the company later on in the year. You know, you got soon to be face of two eras, you know. Bret is the face of the New Generation era, and Austin is going to be the face of the Attitude era. So, yeah, they end up fighting the next month's pay-per-view, that is Revenge of the Taker, and Austin lost. So, I'd rather have Austin getting the win over it, you know. And also, the fans will really get behind Austin, because I don't really call him as, yeah, he was a heel when he debuted. But next time he turned heel will be in 2001. Teaming allied himself with Vince McMahon, and also with Triple H, formed the two-man power trip, and also become the leader of the alliance. So, you can tell, like, and also the fans were chanting, Austin, Austin. You can tell that the fans are starting getting respect to Austin. You can tell, like, 96, 97, Austin was on the rise, winning the 96 Rumble, not 96 Rumble, the 1996 King of the Ring tournament, did that 316 promo, winning first of 3 Rumble matches in 97, and yeah, it's funny, he ended up like the following year's WrestleMania in 1998, at WrestleMania 14, he went on to win his first title, his first world title in his career, and kicked on to, you know, beat Nitro in the reigns in the Monday Night Wars. So, it's not the last time we'll see Bret on the show. So, moving on to, yeah, the next match. So, the next match, we got a Chicago street fight. We'll talk about more Bret, when we get to the main event, you know. So, the next match, like I said, it's a Chicago street fight. We got the members of the Nation of Domination, so represent the nation of the represent the nation of the domination. The represent of the nation, I'm going to call it the nation. So represent the nation of domination. We got Farouk. We got Savio Vega and Crush with Clarence Mason. Will be Jay Biggs when he was part of the new Holland Heat in WCW, with D'Lo Brown, JC Ice, and Wolfie D, taking on Ahmed Johnson, and the returning of the Legion of Doom. I'm guessing this was the Legion of Doom's first WrestleMania since WrestleMania 7 or WrestleMania 8, because they left the company, they broke up, and also they had a run in WCW and the Indies. There's no build to this. This is more continuation of the feud between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation, and also the feud with Ahmed Johnson and Farouk, because they've been feuding since 1996 when Farouk, Ron Simmons did the whole fucking gladiator gimmick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I like this match. You can tell the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. You can tell like the hometown heroes. Actually from Minnesota, You know, I watched the Legion of Doom documentary, the old documentary from 2003. They're not really from Chicago. They're originally from Minnesota. You know, anyway, so yeah, they're built from Chicago, but you can tell they really got behind LOD, the LOD. You can tell the crowd really really into this match. You know, the crowd in this show was good. The fighting extinguishers. Sorry, talking fast by the way. So it was. I really liked this match. Yeah, you had the Nation members got really interfered. As D'Lo Brown. Not. I don't think Clarence Mason got involved. It's just. I think it was just D'Lo Brown, JC Ice, and Wolfie D. I don't like this version of the Nation. I like the Nation with D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, Karma, the future Godfather, and The Rock. Yeah, Owen Hart in some degree. Anyway, so the Warrior, the LD and Ahmed Johnson being the Nation members, all the Nation members, fought off the heel Nation of Domination group. I think they hit like a double Doomsday device on both JC Ice and Wolfie D. In the end, the Ahmed Johnson and the Legion of Doom got the victory. I think I think one of them hit a crush with a 2x4 for the win. So they end up kicking. It's funny that Farouk kick out Crush and Savio Vega out of the group, because Crush and Savio Vega forming their groups. Savio Vega formed Los Boricuas and Crush forms the DOA, was it the Disciple of the Apocalypse? Yeah, I think they had. No, that was the Truth Commission. You had Jackal, that's Don Callis in today's wrestling. It'll be Cyrus the Virus in ECW. Yeah, it was Animal hit Crush with the 2x4 for the win. So moving on to the main event. The main event, we got Psycho Sid. This is his first WrestleMania main event since WrestleMania 8 in 1992. That was against Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Sid, the reigning defending WWF champion, defending the belt against The Undertaker. This is Undertaker's first of 3 WrestleMania main events. His next one will be at Mania 24 and Mania 26. Oh, actually, Mania 36 Part 1. That was AJ Styles in the Boneyard match. That main event, Mania 36 Part 1. Anyway, so the title picture of 1997, the WWE title picture in the beginning months of 1997 was a bit piss poor at this moment in time. Sid entered 1997 as the reigning defending WWE champion for the first time. He ended up dropping the belt to Shawn Michaels in his hometown of San Antonio at the Aladome at the Royal Rumble in January. And then Shawn basically, everyone knows the story. Everyone knows the story that originally it was supposed to be Shawn versus Brett 2. Brett getting his win back, but instead, basically Shawn suffered a knee injury, but because he came out looking fine, he came out doing that. He does that dance when he came out. I'm just a sexy boy. Without entering on commentary with the on crutches. But he looks fine. Yeah, the legend's that Shawn faked the knee injury. He doesn't want to do the job to Brett because Brett came back at the end of 1996. I think Shawn's fearing that the only reason Brett's coming back to see Shawn failed as the WWF champion. So anyway, and then in February Brett won the title, and then Sid won the title. I think it's the next night at Raw, or he ended up dropping the belt to Sid after they helped by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then they had the rematch. That was in the steel cage match. Sid won the rematch. So Undertaker is the next challenger for Sid. And by the way, I forget to get back to Brett versus Austin. Everyone knows the story. There was legends that there were plans to do Stone Cold Steve Austin Brett 4, because they had the third match at at Revenge of the Taker in April. They were supposed to be do a new match, the next match of Mania 14. Brett as the champion, Austin as the challenger. He went on to win the second Rumble match in a row for Austin in 98, but instead Brett left the company in late 97. The events in the Montreal Screwjob in Montreal at Survivor Series. He went on to WCW. Anyway, so and they did Shawn versus Austin for the title. Anyway, so yeah, the title race, the title picture in early parts of 1997 in the WWF was piss poor. It's feel like it's flip flop after flip flop. I feel like every month there's a new WWF champion. So before the start of the match, Bret came out, cut a promo. You can tell Bret at this moment in time was a heel. I think at this moment in time you can tell Bret's character was getting stale. I think, you know, he's got nothing left as a babyface. Being a heel was the right direction because there's no top babyface for him to... There was no heels left for Bret to do as a babyface. So turning heel was the right direction. So Bret cut a promo on Shawn Michaels. I feel like he said, like, you called him a pussy, find your smile, find your smile at... something like finding your smile out somewhere else, something like that, and stay away from this match. You know, sorry, I can't remember the promo that well. I feel like I think it says find your smile at back, and stay away from this match. You know, yeah, I think he called Shawn a pussy. It's not the Attitude Era yet. We're still in the New Gem era because you can tell they're getting a little bit edgy. Like I said, because I said in my review of the Final Four that you know WWF was still getting their asses kicked by WCW in the ratings war. So, and also Bret confront Taker, like it brings up the steel cage match. You know, when you slam my head, you just slam our friendship, because they're still friends to this day, Bret and Taker. And also he confronted Sid. He said, my title belongs to me, and Sid was laughing. You know, he didn't really give a shit. You know, some people, I don't get why people compare Sid to Brock. Brock Lesnar is about working than Sid, you know. I understand why, because they wear black trunks, black boots, I get it. But yeah, Sid is just laughing towards Bret when he's cutting that promo, doesn't really give a fuck. Sid hit the powerbomb onto Bret, and that was it. And the match between Taker and Sid, I thought it's going to be... Aaron Riff from NoDQ.com. This is a no disqualification match. And also, this is the first of 3, world title versus streak. The next time they did that will be a decade later in Detroit at Full Fields. Batista versus The Undertaker at Mania 23. And Edge and Undertaker at Mania 24. First of 3 title versus streak matches in WrestleMania history of The Undertaker. So yeah, the match was okay. I thought it was a bad match, because Sid was not that good in the ring. But besides that, it was a bit boring. But I don't say it's a good match. It was an okay match. I think Taker carried Sid to an okay, passable match. It wasn't. Yeah, it's the weakest main event, but I don't really call it bad. I don't call it good. This is a thumb in the middle main event. I really like this match. It was okay for what it is. I think Sid hit The Undertaker with a tombstone power driver. Taker kicked out. I think he hit him with a powerbomb. I do not know. Yeah, Bret did go involved. He hit Sid. This is the logic get, by the way. Bret hit Sid in the back with the chair. Oh, I forgot it's a no DQ match, by the way. I thought it was just a number one-on-one match. But Bret did go involved. In the end, trying to keep it short and simple, folks. Otherwise, this review will be very long. So in the end, Taker hit his own tombstone power driver onto Sid to win this match. I think Undertaker is the streak started in 1991 against Jimmy Snuka, WrestleMania 7. Sid in 92, Gonzalez in 93, Bundy in 95. No, Diesel Mania, yeah. Mania, I think it was 5. I think it was 5-0. I might be wrong. 5-0. Yeah, 5-0. I can't remember. So yeah. It was Snuka at Mania 7, Roberts in Mania 8, Gonzalez in Mania 9, Bundy in Mania 11. So basically 4-0. Diesel's 5-0. So Sid is 6-0. So yeah, extend it to 6-0 at WrestleMania. Won his second world title, because he won his first title in 1991 against Hulk Hogan at Survivor Series. Unfortunately, it was bogged down to Hulk Hogan's bullshit. He blames The Undertaker for a botched Tombstone Piledriver, but that was not really a botched Tombstone Piledriver. He ended up dropping it to Tuesday Night in Texas. And, you know, because at the time, if Undertaker's not ready, why you put the belt on him? He waited for another 6 years until winning the second world title at Mania 13. So, yeah, Sid was not, yeah, whose whole idea to put the belt on Sid? I get it, he's definitely sized because he looks like a bodybuilder, but he's not that great in the ring. So, Taker hold that belt until SummerSlam that year in August. So, yeah, because at this moment in time, the meaning doesn't mean shit because the title changed hands so many times from 2 months. You know, Shawn won the title in January, Brett won it in February, Sid won the title the same month, and then now Taker won it in March. So it's just don't mean any memorable. But it's a good moment to see Undertaker winning that title. And also he came out wearing grey gloves. That is bullshit. I wish Undertaker wear all black. You know, he started wearing all black, you know, before wearing the grey gloves in this match on this show. But yeah, no, it's a one time. It's a callback when he debuted from the company. I get it. You know, he came out in entrance with the cowboy hat, not the trench coat, but just a normal jacket. So it's just what it is. So anyway, so Sid turned babyface on this show after, you know, Bret, you know, like surprise attack on Sid, you know, after, you know, Sid attacked Bret with the powerbomb. So I think Sid stayed around in the WWF until June before he left the company. You won't see Sid again in WWF/WWE until the year 2012 because he had runs in ECW and then WCW. Became a two-time WCW World Champion, I guess. I don't know. And then he ended up breaking his leg at the Sin pay-per-view in 2001. And then he came back a decade later in pro wrestling, you know, in the storyline between Heath Slater and the Legend. So it's just what it is. He got that redemption because his career ended in an anticlimactic at Sin in 2001. So anyway, so my final rating for WrestleMania 13. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. You know, people will crap on this WrestleMania. Oh, it's shit. But in reality, when I watch it, because I'm younger, I'm not in my 30s or 40s. I'm in my late 20s. But this was a decent WrestleMania. Wasn't a great WrestleMania, but at the same time, wasn't a bad WrestleMania. This was fun for what it is. You know, the only match in the bad has to be, you know, the Intercontinental match between Rocky Maivia and the Sultan. Besides that, the matches in the OK was the opener, you know, the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team match for the normal contendership for the Tag Team Champions, and the main event between Sid and Taker. But besides that, you know, I really like the matches on the show, like Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Goldust, the Tag Team title match, beside of the double count-out, but I really enjoyed the match between Owen and Bulldog versus Vader and Mankind. I like the Chicago street fight between the Nation Domination versus Ahmed Johnson and the Legion of Doom. And the match of the night has to be Bret and Austin submission match. Wow. So, yeah, I suggest watching WrestleMania 13. You know, like I said, not a great WrestleMania, but a good WrestleMania to watch. So, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my review of WrestleMania 13. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Click the bell. Click the like. Subscribe to the Central Man Network YouTube channel. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, this WrestleMania season is nearly drawing at the close. So next week, you know, we got, you know, WrestleMania weekend. The road to WrestleMania 38 is coming to an end. I'm going to review one more classic, WrestleMania. This is going to be in the year of 2012. A 10-year anniversary because, like, you know, last week I reviewed WrestleMania 20. That was the 20th anniversary of that show. This WrestleMania, Mania 13, was the 25th anniversary of the show. To the 10th anniversary of the show I'm going to talk about next week. That is WrestleMania 28. Rock versus John Cena. Once of a lifetime. And also you got the end of an era match between Triple H versus The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. That's next time, folks. So this is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.